Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back with part 2 of reasons to invest in Celtic, and I hope you check out part 1 if you haven't already done so, and look out for part 3 when it comes out. And hope you enjoy this video, and as ever, please feel free to comment anything you wish to comment in the comment section. I would love to have your support and your views and suggestions or anything else you want to comment, and I hope to read any comments and that sort of thing, and reply to them as soon as possible. Anyway, I'll try not to waffle. Yes, as I say, this is some of my ideas and dreams about encouraging people or companies to invest in Celtic, and that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy my quirky imagination, and also offer, as I say, some suggestions or alternative opinions or thoughts and or whatever. And I hope to read some positive comments as well. But even if you want to comment negative things, if you want, obviously that's your prerogative or choice or whatever. But again, I've positive things. But anyway, so here goes. Sorry for waffling. But as I say, this is continuing on from part 1. So I often do these 3-part videos where I talk about 10 different ideas in each of those videos. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I normally do this because I don't want the videos to be too long. So as I say, with that being said, I'll try not to waffle too much. So here goes. So number 11, I hope that new investors will come into Celtic and find it interesting, and the club itself will come up with some ideas and maybe even be inspired by this video. Maybe this video can inspire potential investors and stroke or the club to look into ways and new ideas from my ideas, having their own ideas as a club to encourage investment into the club, and again, new investors who can find out about Celtic and be interested, hopefully, in investing in the club. Number 12, obviously, people who already invest in the club, it would be great to see them continuing to invest. And as some invest in the club, hopefully more will be interested in investing and finding out about Celtic. And hopefully, as more people find out about Celtic, as maybe Celtic can go viral or trend or whatnot. If it goes trending, then hopefully this will encourage more people to find out about Celtic, I say, or more people find out about Celtic and want to invest in the club as well and have shares and equity in the club. Number 13, I hope for Catholics around the world to support and invest in Celtic, maybe even Catholic churches and organisations, even the Vatican itself, perhaps, maybe, or any Catholic organisations. Now, I'm not Catholic myself, but with the connection of how Celtic was founded as a sort of charity, not exclusively for Catholics, but helping the Catholic community in in Scotland, which came over from Ireland. Hopefully, more people find out about the history. But yeah. I think that, that's one reason for Catholics to perhaps support Celtic, again, financially included, and also invest in the club and things like that, and help it pay off its debts or things that it needs to do as a club to be financially successful off the pitch as well as on it. Nowadays, so much money is involved in football. I know some people that hate it, but money is involved in football, which I can kind of understand, although I kind of find interesting and kind of love it in a way. It's kind of a guilty pleasure because I know there's so much money that people need, or so many people that need money, but it's kind of a guilty pleasure, and I think football could still do a lot of good as well. But as I say, I'm not a Catholic myself, but with our arch rivals, the Rankers, as I call them, in other words, or as their real name is, Rangers. The Rangers are very anti-Catholic, and they often sing songs against Catholicism and the Pope and the Catholic religion, and also sometimes have even been very violent against Catholics, as well as the fact that their club, as a club itself, not just its fans, but the club itself actually didn't want to hire any Catholic players, and that's one of the advantages Celtic had, because we also as a fan could hire both Protestants and Catholics as well as other groups. Anyway, moving on, but yeah, basically on that point, even though I'm not Catholic myself, I would love for Catholics or Catholic charities and organisations to invest as much as they can as well in the club and pay its debts off, perhaps, or other such things, like even buy players for the club or invest in things that could benefit the club. Number 14, also with Rangers, our rivals, again, as I call them, Rankers, have, with their connections to sometimes even white supremacist or neo-Nazi or far-right groups. I think that non-WASPs or non-white Anglo-Saxon Protestants should also support Celtic, in my opinion. And again, I think one way to support a club is financially. But buying the kits and the merchandise hopefully will encourage more investment as well in the club, as potential investors see that they can get returns, obviously, which is what most investors will probably want, generally speaking, although some of them might do so for ethical reasons or PR reasons. But again, most of it comes back to returns, I'm sure, in about 90 or 99% of cases even. But yeah, so basically I'd love for non-WASPs, non-white Anglo-Saxon Protestants to support Celtic, as well as people of colour. But yeah, I'll say anyone who's not a WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, I think should support Celtic. And again, that hopefully will help the club financially and encourage more investors. Obviously, if investors see that there are lots of people who support the club and are going to buy the merchandise and spend money on the club, they will see that there's potential for good returns. So hopefully that will encourage investment as well, talking about the reasons for investing. Number 15, again, I'd love to hear other people sharing their reasons why people should invest in Celtic. And I'd love to see fans also investing in the club, like if maybe being a bit naive with as with many of my ideas are, perhaps another pipe dream of mine. But I thought I'd share it anyway, just in case it works out. And think that I'll probably regret it more if I didn't try or share these quirky ideas than if I do and they don't work, if you know what I mean. But yeah, lost my train of thought. But yeah, I was thinking fans, if fans knew the club was going to spend money on buying more players from overseas, but also developing younger players both in Scotland and around the world, in Glasgow itself and around the world. In Glasgow, Scotland more generally, the UK, and even nationally and internationally, across Europe and even Africa and Asia, to have academies in those countries, which will hopefully be of mutual benefiting the people in those countries and the club itself, which is what the club does a lot in terms of charity and stuff as well. But yeah, so I'd love to hear about fans, from fans about what they think, as ever, like Celtic fans, about whether you would be prepared to put money into a club. Me myself, I'm not really that materialistic, so I'd rather, if I had a lot of money, one of the things I would donate to as well as Italian football would be Celtic, as well as a charity support and things like that, because if it meant that the club was going to buy even better players and have even more strength in the squad, and also invest in the academies and developing players as well. But yeah, so if I felt it was going to benefit the club and had the money to do so, I would do so. So I'd love to hear from other fans about whether they would be interested in doing that, and how the club itself could perhaps reassure the fans that it would reinvest that money, or will reinvest that money. Number 16, I'd love to hear other people's ideas as well about what would benefit the club financially and how that can translate to success on the pitch. As I say, a lot of football nowadays is about money, how much money is invested in the club, whichever club that may be, as it is with Chelsea and Man City. Thanks for the like, that's very kind. And number 17, on that note, I'd love to hear, if you do write any positive comments, it would be great to have encouragement from those suggestions or comments or whatever, if people actually enjoy my videos. Sorry if I'm waffling. It is like 1 a.m. here, so but I didn't quite get to record this really earlier. But yeah, so I'd love to hear about other people's ideas about how to encourage investment into Celtic FC, and people, maybe even people who don't even know about football or who don't even like football, could get into football or soccer, if you like, if you're in America or elsewhere. Capricorn Unicorn asked what's going on. I often make these videos with lists. I know I probably waffle a bit, but for those who don't understand or are not into football or soccer or whatever you call it, I like to talk about one of my passions, which is football or soccer. So I hope that explained it. If you have any other questions, I'd love to hear them. But yeah, so sorry if I normally focus on these lists. It's my way of organising myself. But yeah, number 18, I think also there could be like ethical investors, people who have an interest in the charity work that Celtic does. So that could be another incentive for people to invest in the club. Number 19, I think that's also because of the talking about the charitable side of the club, it maybe some potential investors could also donate to the foundation in terms of like the work it does across Africa, in terms of like helping things like software developers or other projects it does across Africa. I don't know if they did that specifically, but that could be a specific idea that the foundation, as part of the club, could work towards. And number 20, supporting Africa, supporting people across Africa and Asia, and in terms of STEM, which stands for science, tech, engineering, and maths, and solving problems and things like that. So again, I don't know if these sort of ideas will encourage investment into the club, but I hope that if they see there's a lot of fans, excuse me, of Celtic, and they think that they'll get good returns, that could encourage investment. So again, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'm going to wrap this video up because I don't want it to be too long. Thanks, Capricorn, for your comments and asking a question, and I hope I answered your question a little bit, or this made some sort of sense, even for those who are not hugely into football. And thanks for the like, whoever gave the like, I really appreciate it, and I'm out. Peace and love.